Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowances is made for fair use for the purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting and teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringed. While I wait, give a moment for my guests. This is an open discussion with an Islamic Imam. Upon request, he acts in open dialogue with your apostle ZAQAN. So, as we are here to represent the Most High God, we are willing to participate with anyone of any background, whether it be atheist, Christian, Buddha. It doesn't matter what sphere of belief or non-belief you take upon yourself. We are open to discussion. Fair, unadulterated, unbiased, only discussing the truth. So I will give my opponent, the one who wants to accompany this discussion, a moment to get himself together, a moment that he needs to be able to join in. I'm hoping, I haven't heard from him as of yet, but I want to give him time. So we will be opening up, ready to put the link in where the describer, the Imam, can click the link or either add his email address in the link where I can send him the link so that he can join. And we will be getting to this discussion momentarily. Okay? All right. Let me see what I can do here. Okay. Let me capture this link. Oh, what happened? So I can put it in the chat. Paste. There's the link. Okay, Imam, all you have to do is click on the link and we will open discussion. There's the link on my StreamYard account. Okay. Keith Robinson, I have one of the volumes of Josephus. Um, I don't, hold on, let me close up some of these links I got. Okay, I have one of the volumes of Joseph Felixus, whatever his last name is. I don't consider his writings to be authentic. I believe from his perspective, he's a real individual, and he wrote according to his beliefs, what he thought to be true. But I don't hold them as having any revelation power or spirit power, as far as the Holy Spirit induced. No. Yes, sir, Keith, I'm doing very well. The Most High is blessing me in spite of myself. I'm doing the best I can. And that short end, I depend on him to pick up the slack in my life. Where I fall short, I know he's more than able to keep me. So that's all I depend on these days. But thanks for coming in and sharing with us today. All my listeners, all the time, I enjoy it. Just remember, man, to hit the like button and thumb up the video. Share it. Right now, we're being broadcast on YouTube, being broadcast on Facebook, and we're being broadcast here on StreamYard simultaneously. So if the Imam is listening, let me know on StreamYard. Pick me up on StreamYard. The link is in the chat on StreamYard. And if you have problems, give me a call. My number is listed down below. And as of right now, you should see my banner running across the screen with my phone number. So you can call me. Don't send an email because I'm not able to look into my email right now. But give me a phone call if you're out there and you're having problems linking in, if you so desire to. I'm here waiting for you. It is an open discussion with the Islamic Imam. Perhaps he didn't know, but in my young 30s, I studied Islam. Older 30s, young 40s, older 30s, young 40s. I studied Islam for 7 years. I don't remember a whole lot. I was given a Quran by a guy I considered my brother. He was from Pakistan and he was Sunni Muslim. And I studied under him. Mubarak Malik. He gave me my first Quran. It was a little small book that read from the right to the left. A little small, thick book. And he signed it. I remember asking him at that time, I was a Christian. And I remember asking him if I was able to convert him to Islam, what would happen to him? He was here in America studying to be an engineer. After getting his engineering license, he went back to Pakistan. I met his wife, his children. They made the good, it was absolutely good, lovely, pan bread. And you rolled it up. And it was like 6 or 7 loaves rolled up. And you would unroll them and peel them off. And this flat bread, I mean, it tastes so good. And you will roll the bread up and dip it, put your lamb in it, and you would dip it in a sauce and eat it with your hands. They didn't use spoons and forks. They did cut their meat up with a knife, but they ate everything with their right hand. And he taught me that the right hand was for consumption. The left hand, well, is for cleaning yourself. We'll put it that way. Okay? So, okay, come on, brother Imam. Open up. Send me a message. Give me a call. I'm ready for you. I'm ready for that open discussion that you wanted. It's now 7:15. We agreed at 7. So you can send a message through the live chat if you like. I'm here for you. I'm here waiting on you. I'm here waiting for you. If you put your email in the chat, I can invite you. If you click on the link, I can invite you. Yeah, cuz I see you out there. I see you, cousin. Here's a new link. There's a new link for you. Right there at the bottom of Johanna Israel. What's up, cuz? How you doing? Anyone wants to click on this link? Shalom, cuz. I see you, Johanna. Yes, that's my cousin Leona. Yes, Johanna Israel. That's my cousin down there in Charleston, South Carolina. Yes, yes, yes. Love you, cuz. There's the link. Come on, this is the second link for you. Hit that bottom link. My brother Imam. Hit that bottom link. Come on in and join us. Let's see what you got to talk about. I'm ready to build with my brother. Whoa. Yeah. Hey, cuz. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Unmute. Let me see. Where you at? Where you go? Yes, Indigenous Blessed Man. Thank you. The call number is. Now, that call number is going across the screen. It's my regular phone. It's my phone number. I'm not set up online where I can receive calls, but I can receive the call on my phone. Thank Ranks indigenous black man. Yes. I'm waiting on the Imam. I don't want her on TV, man. On screen. Yes, I'm waiting on the Imam. There you go, cuz. I see you. Okay, is your mic?
Yeah. Yes, my
Okay.
mic is on.
Okay, babe. Did you make it up? Are you going?
Yes, I'm going Saturday. It's Saturday at 11.
At 11. At what church?
I'm not sure. I'm going to call Aunt Mildred and find out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Are you coming?
no, I don't think so. I don't know. I wasn't planning on coming.
Okay.
I like to come.
I look forward to seeing you.
I know. Maybe I can, I can't drive anymore, so but
Oh,
yeah. So maybe if Carolyn can bring me, I don't know. Maybe I'll do.
yeah. Yeah.
But I don't want to
Tell
talk,
Carolyn to bring you from me.
yeah. So how you doing? How's the husband and the children?
We're doing well. We're doing well.
Okay. I'm looking over.
How's you and the family?
Everybody's good. Everybody's blessed. The Most High is gracious.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me some things going on there with you and your ministry in the Most High.
Well, the Most High has been very gracious. He's been very strengthening to us. He's been very gracious, very, very gracious. Our knowledge has increased in learning who our enemy is and how we need to learn to fight against our enemy. And our strongest weapon is knowledge, because the Bible tells us that we are destroyed by the lack of knowledge, and our people need to know who they are, to know whose they are, because in this line of life, we have been so programmed to the usual, till we have not been able, we don't search anything no more. We don't look into things no more. We just, whatever the pastor say, we believe it and we go on. But I will tell you that we've been lied to. We've been bamboozled for so long. It's time to wake up.
Right. Everybody out there that's listening, this is my cousin Leona, Johanna Israel. Her husband both and children are in the truth. As a matter of fact, she was in the truth before I was in the truth. We discovered that at the family reunion about 5 or 6 years ago. I had the opportunity to share some things with the family, and she opened up. But in every class that I've given in terms of Hebrew, she's always been there, supportive. But this is my family, my blood family.
Yes.
Her father is my mother's youngest brother. So
yes,
and I have a lot of other family members that's in the truth. I
Yes.
allow them to speak for themselves.
Yes.
So, and we're glad for she used to be in ministry in Christianity, her and her husband both.
Yes.
So this is what we call the awakening hour, the hour of truth, where God is revealing to his people who we are, what we are, and what we mean to him as a people. So for anyone that is gravitating towards this truth, grasp it, as much of it as you can, nurture it, study it,
research,
utilize it,
yes,
to the best of your ability.
Yes.
So I have several family members that are in this truth now, and still a lot of family members that are not. We come from a family of Christians, a large Christian family, 5 churches at one time. Say like 20 years ago, they said you don't count numbers, but I counted in my family over 120 ministers, licensed pastors,
Licensed ministers.
evangelists, all of
Yes.
that, over
Yes.
120, with
Yes.
another 30 yet to be
Yeah.
licensed. And
Yes.
this was about 20 years ago, and a lot of them people, a lot of those have passed on. I
Mm-hmm.
come from a large Christian background. I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying very large. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I can, I share with
Yes.
them. Now, they're not open to it. A lot of them think I done lost my mind, but it's okay. That's all right by me. But
Yeah.
I know the truth is going to be revealed in this
Yeah.
life or the next life. You know,
Most
and it's not
definitely.
about a contest. I don't want, it's not a contest that I must be
Mm-mm.
right.
No.
So let me stop this right commercial right quick. But it's not a contest.
No.
And really, for a lot of their sakes, I hope I am wrong. But I'm not wrong. I just
Mm-mm.
want you to understand what I'm saying. For their sake, for their soul's sake, I hope I'm wrong. Because, like, I don't want to see no one perish. There's a lot of my loved ones have left us. A cousin of mine is being funeralized come this Saturday.
Yes.
And a lot of good people have left this life
That's right.
this year alone.
Mm-hmm.
When my best friend of 40 years
Mm-hmm.
came home from work a month before his retirement, he put in 30 years at
Mm-hmm.
a company that we all worked for. He came home one day about 6 o'clock early, sat down on his chair, cut on his TV.
Mm-hmm.
He must not have been feeling well because he called his doctor. And I know this because when his wife came home, she said he was on the phone with his doctor, making an appointment for the next day. The next day never came.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend, my brother, in this truth
Mm-hmm.
that I brought along with me in this truth,
Yes.
sat on his chair while his wife went upstairs to go to sleep. She woke up 6 o'clock in the morning, realizing he wasn't in bed and knew that was unusual.
Mm-hmm.
She called out to him. He didn't answer. She went downstairs and she found her husband sitting in that chair watching TV, and he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Never made it upstairs, never made it to the doctor. But I can say one thing about him. He knew the truth of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
He knew the truth. He knew he was Israel. He knew he was Yasharallah.
Mm-hmm.
That he knew. So my soul rejoiced that this is one yet died, but I know he yet lived because he knew the truth. Now, we serve a Most High that don't hold us responsible for things that we don't know, but is so blessed in knowing this truth is such a blessing that comes with this truth that I would rather know him in life than to meet him in death. Because in death, there's nothing I can do. Nothing. No work beyond the grave. But in this life, I can yet work and bring others to that truth. That's the enjoyment. When I bring, because of my suffering,
Mm-hmm.
because of my life experience, I can
Mm-hmm.
speak on that thing and help somebody come to the same truth that I've come to. That causes me to rejoice in the Most High. Maka,
Mhm.
Awa, Mahala.
Mhm.
It causes me to rejoice in him.
Yes.
My Islamic brother that wanted to have an open chat with me, the Imam, hit that bottom link and join me. You can do that. I'm here waiting to have this open discussion with you. But right now, if there's anybody that want to hit that link and come in, hit the link. Hit the link and come on in. If you're out there and you want to have a discussion with Apostle, hit the link and come on in. Hit the link and come on in. Well, I'm just looking at the chat, seeing what's going on. Peace to you, indigenous black man. Uh, Dolores, I can't pronounce your last name. I see Fields, but I'm having problems with Hodge. Fields Hodge. Good evening to you. Glad to have you. If you have any questions, you can hit the link also. Anybody, for whatever reason, you can hit the link and join us. I'm going to start reading from the book of Jubilees. And until we can get, y'all excuse me. I'll be right back because I'm going to cut my camera off for a minute. Man, with all that noise, I guess I just should have cut the sound off too.
It's all right. I've learned
uh,
that in depth that we still have that heart, and that heart is what we feel when that loved one or that special one to our heart goes. I 2 months ago just buried we buried our my mother-in-law, my husband's mother.
yeah,
And when you hear and you know and you've seen the work and the beauty of knowing that the life has been lived, their journey has come to an end, and that they work that they did on this side of the world, of this side,
yeah,
done, and now they're transitioning to their next life.
right,
They don't have to worry about the pain no more. They don't have to suffer anymore. They don't have to deal with the mess we got to deal with today. So in doing their transitioning, we are to rejoice and to
yeah,
embark upon the memories of their love, of their trust, of their strength, and their love that they left with us, that we can continue to go on.
yeah, true, true. You know, that memory uh, is that memory of them is in that
Mm,
portion of our
yep.
mind, our brain,
Yes.
of our
Yes.
conscience. So
Hmm.
that memory will always, as long as we have a conscience, that
It's going to
memory of our
always
loved
be
ones will always be with us.
with us.
It's
Hmm.
seated in our remembrance bank. That's what's so
Hmm.
good about or precious about the forehead.
Hmm. That
The
third
head.
eye.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, our conscience is here
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
front of our brain.
Right.
And that's why in the book of Revelations, for my New
Hmm.
Testament followers, in the book of Revelations, it talks about the mark. being received in your hand and in your
Mm-hmm.
forehead. Because here's your thoughts, and your thoughts is what that controls your actions, and your
Mm-hmm.
actions are delivered in your hands. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
the mind think, the hand does. You
Right.
see? So our actions is revealed in the things we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's where our actions are revealed. That's why it says that the mark will be received in your hand and in your forehead. It's nothing
Mm-hmm.
special. They're not going to put a chip in your hand. Come on, y'all. Look, they might put a chip in your hand, but you carry a chip in your wallet. Your credit card is a chip.
Yeah,
Your driver's license has a chip.
sure does.
Understand this, people. Anything that's dealing with numbers, you already chipped.
Mm-hmm.
There's some significance about putting a chip in your hand. They can put a chip in your arm. They
Right.
can put a chip in your leg. They can put a chip anywhere in your body.
Anywhere.
That's their desire. When the Bible talks about the mark in your hand and the mark in your forehead, it's talking about your knowledge and the actions of your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Things you do delivers the mark. Come on, y'all. It's clearly in Revelations 13, two marks of the, there are two beasts. One beast came out of the sea, and the other beast came out of the land. There's two beasts. One beast is a system dealing with the Roman Catholicism, the Rome of might that received the deadly wound, yet live, but different. It became a religious axis, um, a religious order, not a military order, but still as powerful, but not as powerful as military might. But the Vatican is its own country. Its own country. The Vatican City is its own country. And it has caused the whole world to wonder after the beast. Why? Because all of Christianity comes from that beast, the mother of harlots. Those churches came out of her. Whether you're talking about the Church of England, Calvin, uh, uh, more, it doesn't matter what church. They all came out of Roman Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
She is their mother. She
Mm-hmm.
is their mother. And they all came out of her. Now, the second beast is like unto the first beast. It's an individual. It's a man. They came out of Roman Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
What man has set himself up that came out of Roman Catholicism in the church as if he is God?
Roman Pope.
What man do they claim changed the Sabbath law?
Mm-hmm.
Who changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday? And what was the reason that they changed it?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
he resurrected on Sunday. And they worship that same one that resurrected on Sunday as if he is God. They have set
Mm-hmm.
him up in the church to be God, a man,
Mm-hmm.
and his image. What is that image? Caesar Bourget.
Mm-hmm.
You better
That's
open
right.
your eyes
Mm.
before it's too late. We don't worship a man. We give a king honor, but we worship the Most High. A king is due his honor. If there was a king before us today, we will all bow. Why? Because a righteous king deserves honor. And he is our king. But he is not that image. And when you call on that dead name that didn't exist past 400 years ago, they just made it up.
All right. All right.
That name did not exist
Mhm.
in 1611. There
Sure
was no
did.
J in
There
the
was no
alphabet.
name.
So when
Mm-mm.
you call on that name, regardless
Yeah.
whether you are aware of it or not, you are worshiping Zeus,
That's right.
the Greek god Zeus. Man, you better wake up.
Mm.
Time is running out.
That's right.
Thing has had his run. This thing is over. Y'all hear me? It's over.
Mm.
God is coming to claim his elect, and his elect
Mhm.
ain't calling on Jesus. I'm sorry, y'all, but we are not calling on that name. It's fakery, trickery. You've been brainwashed. You've been duped, led astray. All those things that Malcolm X said, and he was led astray also. He was duped, brandweakled, laid amok, laid astray. Because any man that is not talking truth is laid astray. Any man that is not talking truth is talking fable. Only the truth will set you free. He that continue in the truth. John 8, 30, 31, 32. He that continue in the truth. If you continue in the truth, he will set you free. But if you don't continue in the truth, you will not be free. Okay? There is no freedom outside of the truth. I want all of y'all to know that. There's no freedom outside of the truth. Now, I'm going to give you some truth. Okay? I'm going to give you some truth. Right here from the book of Jubilees. All right? 12th chapter. Starting at the 24th verse. And I shall be a God to thee and thy son. He's talking to Abraham. The Most High is talking to Abraham. And I shall be a God. That means power, halak, power. I shall be a power unto thee and thy son, and thy son's son, and in thee and thy son, to the son's sons, and to all thy seed. Fear not from henceforth, and unto all generations of the earth. I am thy God. And the Lord God said, open his mouth. And the Lord God said, open his mouth. Now, who is he talking to? Who is he talking to, telling to open the mouth of Abraham? And the Lord God said to someone, open his mouth and his ears. Y'all get that? And the Lord God said, this is a quotation. He's saying it to someone to do to Abraham. Why? Because he's about to teach Abraham something Abraham did not know. You ought to say, have mercy right there. You ought to say, have mercy. Because if not but for mercy, none of us will get this. If it's not for mercy, mercy's sake, we wouldn't be getting this. He said, open up his mouth and his ears that he might hear, and speak with his mouth, with the language, with the language which have been revealed. For it had ceased from the mouth of men, of all children, of men, from the day of the overthrow of Babel. The language that he's talking about has ceased from the mouth of children and all the mouth of men since the overthrow of Babel, meaning that the language was before Babel, but ceased after Babel, but now is being reintroduced to our father Abraham. What language is this? And I opened his mouth. Who's talking now? And I opened his mouth, his ears, his lips, and he began to speak with him. With who? This person is saying, I opened up his mouth and his ears, and then he began to speak with God. So God didn't open his mouth. Somebody else that God appointed to open his mouth. And then he began to speak to God. And what did he say? He began to speak with him in Hebrew, Abaya, in the tongue of creation. He began to speak to God in the tongue of creation, Abaya.
Wow.
So if anybody got any questions on what language came first, Paleo Abaya was the first language spoken. It is the language of creation. Okay, so take your lies somewhere else. That Kemet is the first, that Kemet is the first language, or that Sumer is the first language. Take your lie somewhere else. I've read it out of the book of Jubilees. It was the same language of Enoch. The same language Enoch wrote in. Because in Enoch's day, the language was around. Because Enoch lived before the Tower of Babel. Come on, beloved. Come on, beloved.
From
Speak back to me, beloved.
with over 80,000 students. Didn't have.
I will have to kind of disagree with that there, Apostle.
Okay.
Kemet came first before Kemet is a place versus a language, first of all.
Yeah.
So being that Kemet was a right. So the language that is placed on the walls of Kemet, the language that is on the walls of Kemet will be Hebrew.
No, that's Egyptian. That's Kemet.
No,
no, it's not Egyptian.
No, the first language is saying something. I don't know. I think it's
so y'all don't believe the book of Jubilees.
Language or
you
whatever.
Don't believe what I just read in Jubilee.
There is thousands.
I will have to disagree with you.
And Africa is
yes,
over.
I will have to
disagree with me. I just read it, so you would disagree.
I know what you read, but we will have. I will have to read. I'm gonna have to read that and kind of analyze that again.
Okay. Well, do you have Book of Jubilee?
I believe I do. I got to go in here and look, but I believe I do.
Get the Book of Jubilee, because understand what I read. It's not what I said. I read it.
I understand.
It's not my words.
Right.
These are
So
those
right
hours.
there, yeah, let me restate. Restate that. Then I disagree with the statement that you made that paleo is before Kemet. That's what I want. That's what I'm saying.
All right,
That's what
now
I'm.
look up the word paleo.
I understand. We did that in Hebrew class,
That's
but
right.
after
And
some
what does
after some
paleo?
studying, after some
Look up
studying,
paleo
I
mean.
saw
What
that
does
Kemet
paleo?
came before paleo.
Okay,
Kemet is
that's
not even
fine.
a language. It's more of a place versus a language. So you can't compare
Okay.
a place
What
with a language.
what was okay? But there's people there and they're speaking a language. Now, who
Yes, they
are the
were speaking
people?
in language.
Now, who are the people of Kemet? What son of Noah? I mean, of Ham are the people of
Actually,
Kemet.
the people of Kemet, the people that's in Kemet, that's first of all, Kemet is a
I'm
place. We got
talking
to make
about
sure we understand it.
right. I'm talking
Kemet is a
about the
place.
original. I'm
The,
talking about
the original
Kemet.
manuscript that is on the wall. You going
Okay, we
all the way
don't know.
back
All right.
to
Okay, listen.
Ray
I,
Ray and Is and Ray, and it was
Ray is a
Isis, Ray
false
and
god.
Am.
That's the son. Ray is a sun god. Ray.
Yes, we
That's the
already.
sun god.
That's where they formulated this JC off of.
No, no,
Yeah,
no. They didn't get no. They didn't get JC from Ray. No,
yeah,
no, no, no.
yeah,
No way.
yeah.
There's
It's
no
right there on
link.
the wall. It's right there on the
No,
wall.
listen. Okay, listen to this. Let's go back to the
Mhm.
beginning. Noah
Okay,
had 3 sons. Of those 3 sons, Ham had 4 sons.
okay. We're talking way before Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob came in the picture.
Right, right. Ham,
We're going way before that.
that's right. No, you can't because that's where the beginning is.
No,
Ham,
that's not where the beginning is. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's not where the
who is
beginning.
no? Okay, so tell me. Okay, the word Kemet comes from Cam. That's Ham.
Uh-uh.
The word Kemet comes from Cam. Cam had a son named Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is Egypt. That's where Egypt comes from. Mitzrayim. Ham's son. Mitzrayim. Before Mitzrayim, there is no Egypt. Mitzrayim means land of the hot. That's what it means. When you look up paleo, the word paleo means first, original. There's nothing before paleo. That's why no language is called paleo but Hebrew. Kemet language, the language they speak is not called paleo. Now, you got to get to if you believe something, you got to have a foundation to that belief. The writings on the wall in Kemet, we don't know when those writings were written down. They could have been written down 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago when the Greeks invaded. We don't know when those writings were written. Nobody knows. All we know is we got writings on the wall. And our God has nothing to do with that. They worship multiple gods. The god of water, Patet, Mayat. They worship Ra. They worship Asa, Heroris. They worship all these false deities that's written on the walls there. So y'all got to explain to me where this stuff coming from. If you are Hebrew, you're not Egyptian. That's a land of our slavery.
Okay, we about to answer that right now for you.
Okay, bring your husband on because I'd rather talk to him.
Stan, I don't know your new name is what? ZAQAN?
ZAQAN.
ZAQAN.
ZAQAN. Elder pupil. ZAQAN.
Okay, I just want to address you correctly, but I'm studying into Kemet, and
they don't take your wife's place so I can see you better. Sit where your wife is sitting. Come on, there you go.
No, I've been a little bit things to do, but I heard the conversation. But Egypt does not worship multiple gods. As I study it, they was only in the one God. Okay, and I know you want to say about Isis, Ray, and all, but as you study that, You
Studied
I'm
it.
not going by what the Europeans said, because like Malcolm X said, how can you teach a man right when you can't treat a man right? Mm-hmm. And then at Paleon is the first language in how in Africa, I think they got over 2,000 different languages. Mm-hmm. And I know some might say go back to Babel, but then if we get deep and we go back to the flood, because you know the biblical story, as it said, you know, the earth was flooded. So where did all the water went at? If
back
the earth
into the
was
earth
flooded,
and above the earth, back into the earth and above the earth.
Well,
It
I
went
mean,
back into the earth where it came from. The water came out of the earth. There was
yeah,
water.
we know water. Yeah, we know water's in the ground,
in
but
the earth.
it covered the highest mountain, and the highest mountain, it says Mount Everest, and that's thousands of you know, but feet above sea level. So the sea and the earth only.
In the flood. Do you believe in the flood?
I'm looking for the evidence. I'm looking for the evidence to support the flood, because see, when you go by faith, you don't have to have no evidence. You just like a murderer goes to court, and the judge and the jury and the prosecutor tell them your DNA is on the scene, the gun is registered, you on it, and you on a surveillance camera. But he's telling the judge, no, just believe me, just accept what I'm saying by faith. But all the evidence point against him. Mm-hmm. So I like going now by the evidence. I don't accept what the Europeans say, and like the Bible said, prove all things. That's one of the new scriptures. So I want everything to be proven. Don't come and
get a foundation. Let me get a foundation from you. You don't even believe in the Old Testament. Do you still believe in Torah?
I'm gonna say there's no such thing as Old Testament and New Testament, because if you got Old Testament and New Testament, then you got a Middle Testament. Then you got a Middle Testament, which would be the Apocrypha. So these is different books. Now, I accept a lot of stuff that's in the Old Testament versus what they say in the New Testament for argument's sake. But a lot of stuff in the New Testament goes against what they call in the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Like for one, Paul said, pray over the food and you can eat it. But I think it's in Isaiah, the Most High said, when he come, you who eating the abominable food and meat and rat and all that stuff, you know, because I'm not going to eat a skunk. I'm not going to pray over a skunk and eat it. I'm not going to pray over a vulture and eat it.
Right. Listen. Okay. That's what Paul said. Speaking of the foods that are clean, Paul says, pray over them and receive them in thanksgiving. People misunderstand Paul. Just like Peter said, Paul is hard to understand. Paul never said you can eat anything you want. Paul never said that.
You already got clean now. He said pray over it and eat it. Pray over and eat it. I know this trying to say it has something to do with the idol food that they was using for worship.
Listen, right. Paul said this here. When Paul said pray over your food, he's talking about food that's intended for you to receive. Pray over your food and receive it. Because even clean food can be damaging to you. That's why you pray over it before you eat it. Any food. I don't care what you receive.
I would disagree with the clean food unless they're not contaminated with preservatives like they're doing today.
Well, that's you say unless.
But back then they didn't have no preservatives to put in their food, like the chemicals they put in their food today that's giving people cancer.
Okay, still, pause. Listen, I pray over food. I give thanks for food. I thank God for breath.
Right.
I thank God for breath. Every day, I thank him for breath. You know why? Because it belongs to him. It don't belong to me. Anything that he gives me, I thank him for. I thank him for life. You know why? Because life don't belong to me. It belongs to him. So I thank him for it. In prayer.
Right. Giving him thanks is what we naturally.
Listen.
Right.
Prayer is my way of communicating with my creator. So I give thanks for my food because he gave it to me. I give thanks for breath because he gave it to me. I give thanks for life because he gave it to me. This has nothing to do with faith. This has to do with what I know. My life is not my own.
But so praying, but giving thanks is not what we are debating about.
Well, we ain't even
we're not even debating about. Right. Yes, we give thanks in all things. But what we're saying is that what we are saying, we are saying is
language.
What we on language. So that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, so, that's just kind of sticking to language, like Africa. We got the European going over there now, robbing them of your resource, and they came over there with the Bible. And then after a while, here comes the army, and now they don't take them over.
Listen, the Bible was in Ethiopia before the white man even knew about the Bible.
Yeah, we know they repackaged it.
Listen, the Bible was in Africa before the white man even knew about the Bible. We taught the white man about the Bible. He got it from us. Just like our language.
Not the way that they're teaching it.
The white man is in our home.
Not the way they're teaching it. The way that they are teaching it is not what we taught them.
But the point is, that's not the point.
That is the point. That is the point. Because
listen, you got to go back to your original source. And y'all are doing that. Listen, we are not Africans.
We didn't say that. We didn't say that.
So listen. We are not Africans. We were born from Africa, but we are not Africans. Our land is Israel, Jerusalem, where Esau is today, speaking a language that they say is Hebrew. It's not. That mumbo jumbo they're speaking, Masoretic tongue, is not Hebrew. It's not Abiyah. That's not our language. That's not the language I just read about in Jubilee.
Right.
Creation. The language I taught you, Abaya.
Right. Paleo Hebrew. Yes, I understand.
That is the first language. That's why they call it paleo. The word paleo means, listen, paleo means the original. It means first.
So what language did Adam and Eve spoke?
It's Paleo Hebrew. That just told you. It's the language.
Okay, so Adam and Eve was a Hebrew then. They spoke Paleo Hebrew.
They spoke Paleo Hebrew. They not Hebrews. It wasn't.
Just, but who was it? Because the biblical story told us that we all came from Adam, from one man. Right. He made all the nation. So we all come from Adam. And we all came from Adam. Then why do we all want to have the same blood? You're supposed to have the blood of your father.
No, listen, that's right. But our blood is different than their blood.
Why is that?
Our blood is because Shem, listen, you got O negative. Then you got
remember that was
they all had the same daddy. Ham, Shem, and Jacob had the same daddy, Noah. So they gotta have Noah's blood. They gotta have Noah's blood. Like if my mother wanted to take my daddy down for child support, they're gonna test for the blood. I'm gonna have my daddy's blood. So the three, Ham, Shem, and Noah, Ham, Shem, and Jacob got Noah's blood.
What happened to Esau?
Okay, Esau and Jacob came from what's the parents? Isaac.
Rebecca and Isaac.
And Isaac. So see, that's the problem because Jacob and Esau, one came out hairy and red, and the other one came out black and normal, and the other one came out abnormal. So you telling me that Esau is the white man, and that's
the black man too.
Oh,
Esau can produce white and black.
No, hold on, wait a minute, let's freeze. Wait a minute, let's deal with Esau and Jacob. One came out normal, one came out abnormal, one came out hairy and red, and the other one came out black or brown skin.
How many wives did Esau have?
Yeah, but wait a minute, before we get there, we get there. So they had the same father, so they got the same blood. So there's no way a white man got the same blood type as I got. There's no way.
No.
Let's find out if they're the same.
Our blood type Our blood type is totally different from theirs. So totally different.
Why we got all this blood type anywhere, and we all got the same progenitor father or Adam? We all came from Adam. We all should have Adam blood. Every black man, every white man, every Chinese, every Japanese, we all should have the same blood.
That's right.
How did the bloodline change or become corrupted? Because you can trace everybody back to who? To Adam.
To Adam.
You say Adam is the first man, right? And then here comes Eve from the rib. So we got Adam blood. How could the bloodline change from Adam on down?
It can't.
Listen, stop. You know what? You got to read. You got to understand what you read. Read for understanding.
Stan, I go by the evidence. You got your daddy's blood, Stan. Listen, you got your father's blood. You got your father's blood. Another man cannot come and claim you.
Listen, I just found out who my father was a year ago.
Yeah.
Because of DNA evidence.
There you go.
All my life, I thought William James Montgomery was my father. Till I turned 65. I sent in my DNA, and it showed me that I did not have the same father as my brothers and sisters. I know the story now. I know what happened. I know who my father is. I got 6 other siblings.
Wow.
One died. I got 1 brother and 5 other sisters. Our father was the first black entrepreneur in San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
He owned the dry cleaners and a barber shop. He was the first. They named the whole city and a whole district in San Antonio after my father. His name is Homer Lavelle Rogers. My father died in 1980. Homer Lavelle Rogers.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I got 1 brother, another brother, and 6 sisters. 1 sister died. They were twins. One of the twins died. I talk to my sisters all the time, and I haven't yet talked to my brother because he don't want to give the fact that he's the only son. I'm the baby, but they're still my siblings. That's my father. DNA proves it. But when it talks about Jacob and Esau, the Bible says in the womb, before they were born, God changed them. He separated them and made 2 separate nations, 2 separate people in the womb. They were not the same people. They had the same father, but God changed it.
Well, okay, we'll get deep in that, but wait a minute.
Listen, we show you that they were different. One came out normal and the other one didn't. To show
abnormal, right? Okay.
Came out abnormal. But that same abnormal man took 8 wives. He took a wife from his brother Shem, his brother, from Ishmael. He took a wife who is an Egyptian. Hagar was an Egyptian. He took a wife born as a daughter to Ishmael as 1 wife. He took 2 wives from Canaan. 2 wives from Canaan. That's 3. He took 2 wives from the Hittites, who is Hamites. He took another 2 wives from the daughters of Horam, the Horite, a Neanderthal, in the Mount Seir. They were white. Neanderthals. They were white. Dumb. They grunted. But when they conquered Mount Seir, he took 2 wives. You got to understand, he bred with 8 different women, and the Neanderthals are not human. They're non-human species.
Where did they come from, man?
The Neanderthal was created along with Homo erectus and Homo egenus. They were created on the first day first chapter, the 26th verse. Let us create man in our image and in our likeness. They spoke him, not God. Elohim, a council. Elohim, the word Elohim. Elohim. That's why it says Elohim created. And Elohim created by speaking. Our God, Yahweh, he formed Adam from the dust of the ground.
Wait a minute, you saying we got two gods now?
What?
You saying we got two gods now? Elohim create one and now the other one create one?
It's not, no. Elohim is not a god, but there's multiple gods. We worship one God.
But where Elohim created a living being that can eat and breathe and think, so isn't he on the level as the other God who created Adam? So you're saying there's two gods, but God says no other God beside him. Break that down for me, because in Genesis, when he created, everything produces mankind.
Listen. Line up everything in Genesis 1. Genesis 1 is a creation. Genesis 2 is a separate creation.
Right, there's two creations. There's two creations, right.
Right. So line up the first creation with the second creation, and they coexist. Understand who God is and what his word is. What is God's word? Is what he speaks. That within itself is a creative force. His word creates, because whatever he says out his mouth, it has to come true.
Right. But that's not, but it also,
listen, are there not
angels? Contradicted itself as well.
Are there not angels?
Well, we know there's no such thing as angels.
There's no such thing of angels. So what was it that went to Sodom and Gomorrah and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah?
See, that's the thing we got to talk about, because a lot of the scripture that you are quoting was also added based off of the walls of Kemet and transition to make it look like, to make it into what we wanted to believe, that we've been taught all these years to find out that it's not what they've been teaching us.
Nothing on the wall.
You spoke that the Bible that we've been given, that the Bible been in Africa all these years, that the Bible was in Africa before the white man died. Let me clarify that for you. Yes, that is true, because it's been on the walls of Kemet for over centuries, thousands of years. Way before it was printed on paper.
I don't know who told you that, but there's no way.
I've seen it.
No, when you've been
no,
Egypt?
I didn't have to. There's people that have gone there and they documented it and they got it on video now.
We're going to Egypt.
We're going to see it.
We're going for ourselves. We want to see it for ourselves.
We're going to see it.
Yeah, we want to see it for ourselves.
The whole thing of a lot of stuff. Go ahead. Say it.
Be able to read it, or do you have to trust the word of somebody else that's deciphering it?
I mean, that's
the same thing you're doing, though. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the Bible. All we're doing is reading and deciphering it. Yeah. We don't know if all of this ever happened. We have no verification that this happened.
Do you know what the Metanetta is?
Do you know that everything that you're reading is not right?
That's in Egypt. That's in Egypt. It's another name for it.
The Metanetta has not been deciphered. Don't let nobody
some of it have, and have esoteric and exoteric meaning. All of it hasn't. All of it hasn't been deciphered.
I can bring you the top scholars. James Small. All of them, they're still living. The Metanetta,
we listen to them.
We not been them. And the Bible that's a whole different thing. The Metanetta has nothing to do with scriptures. Nothing.
Yeah, but on the walls of Kemet, you see scriptures on the walls of Kemet, and this is when the Greeks and Romans came in and take it from.
Yeah.
You don't see no scriptures on the walls of Kemet.
You do. Yeah, you do. And if you're talking about a scholar, James Smalls, you need to check it. You need to check him again, because James Smalls he has some of it right there on his site. Yeah. So you need to check him out again.
And ask her crazy as well.
Ask her crazy.
Now this is what these men are saying, but I haven't been there to personally verify for myself and study among the native and try to learn the language for myself, because what they're telling us, it may not be true.
It ain't true. I'm telling you, it ain't true. There's no scriptures.
What we read, I can tell you now, half of the Bible ain't true either.
Listen. What Egypt and what's on the walls of Egypt is satanic Babel.
And what's in the New Testament is satanic Babel. Because they came from that.
Okay.
The New Testament came from that Babel.
As Israelites, we were enslaved in Egypt.
No, there's no evidence to support that.
There's no evidence to support that.
Let me show you something too. Look, Stan, watch this now. It said that the king, the Egyptian king, told us from now on, right? I make sure you get it right or close, that they're going to make bricks without straw. And that's what it said, right?
Yes.
It said they're going to make bricks without straws. Okay, the pyramid is not built with bricks.
Or not straw.
It built with stone.
The pyramids. We never claimed we built the pyramids. The pyramids are over 10,000
leave that alone right there. Then I'm gonna leave that alone.
So what was the brick? What was the brick for then? What's the brick for?
Housing.
Housing of what?
Housing.
What were they housing?
We had to build housing.
What were they housing?
Statues.
What were they statuing of?
The Egyptian gods.
Who were they housing?
Pyramid. Do you know?
But who were they housing?
What?
But who were they housing, cuz?
Yeah,
who were they? Why would I build a house if I'm not housing
somebody? You got the white Jews, you got the fake Jews claiming that they're both though.
What do you think you lived in? You think they built you houses? You had to build your own housing. And they took the straw from us. We had to build our house.
Who took the straw from us?
No. He was saying that the Hebrew, they took the straws from the Hebrew and time to build the brick.
Okay. We did not build.
With all the knowledge we have, we had to go take it from somebody.
Listen, it's been
okay.
Proven.
All the knowledge that we have.
Listen, it's been proven. The Sphinx has water markings from a flood. The Sphinx was built before the flood. The flood ran over the Sphinx. It shows water markings. The pyramids were built before the flood.
Well, what's flood now? They had the flooding of the Nile every year, and there was many floods in Kemet.
That's a local.
Africa had many floods.
That's a local flood by the Nile River. It still happens to this day.
Okay, so where did you get this information from?
Because they got a boat in front of the pyramid.
Yeah, they got a flood in front of the pyramid. So now, where did you get your information from?
Listen.
Where did you get your information from?
From online. I've seen.
You got yours from online, and you need to go back and research it.
No, listen. You can go in the pyramid and go down, and you're going to find water. You'll find water in the bottom.
We know that. We know that. There's certain levels of land.
Came from?
Yeah.
Where do you think
whenever you get too deep, you're gonna run into water. Yes, that's natural.
Listen, no, that's not natural. You just can't dig in the desert and find water.
No, you dig deep enough. Certain parts of the world, you can't dig deep enough. You can't find water.
In a desert, it's a desert. Their only water source is the Nile. That's their only
water source is the Nile.
The fact that the water is in the bottom of the pyramids tells you that there was a major flood.
No, it doesn't necessarily mean it was a major flood. Just look at the watermark.
Underwater. The Sphinx at one time was underwater. They can see the water markings.
Well, the land changes now. I mean, it changes. We got earthquake and come and change the land, and it talks about it in the Bible, and it can, restructure the land. So,
listen to. You should read the chat. Listen, y'all.
This is good. This is good.
Listen, y'all. And Lalona, I've been trying to teach you for the long, and every time after a while, I think I got you right where you need. And then when I talk to you months later,
oh, you ain't never had me when you was happy.
oh,
Listen,
listen, y'all.
I was enjoying the classes. I was right there with you.
I love both of y'all.
You know we love you, brother.
As far as I'm concerned, y'all been in the truth longer than me. I have never seen someone change so quickly as much as y'all do.
This happened over a couple of years. This happened over some years now.
Like I said, we are following the evidence, and we ain't gonna be easily deceived or deceived at all.
I'm not trying to convince you. I know where you came from. Okay? Because see, today I still speak in tongues, and I'm not ashamed of it. I spoke in tongues as a Christian, and because the same God helped me as a Christian that's holding me now. There's only one God, and he changes not. The same God that saved me when I was 22 years old is the same God that holds me today. I know that.
Right.
I didn't have the information I have today, but he's the same God. If he delivered me from drugs, if he healed my body,
he sure did. He did that for you.
That's the same God. I don't change like that. Because the same God that made me speak in tongues when he filled me with the Holy Ghost is the same God that holds me today. The information is different. He's opened me up. You learn continually. You never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
God never changes. It's the same God.
Yes, he is.
If you're thinking that somehow God is changing, he's now some new God.
No, that's not.
Because there is no new God. God is the same God that came to you when you were Christians. You just got more information.
I'm much more wise.
Yeah, we got a lot of information. Like he's not a blue-eyed hippie on the wall, and he didn't get God downstairs.
And he just saying that's the knowledge. We understand that. You know, it's a whole lot of things that we have come across that we have still examining, that we are still switching, that we're still transfiguring out as well. So this is a process. This is a process. This is not something that you just learn today and bam, you're gonna change tomorrow.
The Old Testament is just jacked up as the New. I'll tell you that because the Bible is from the white man, but the Word of God is
right. They miseducated us. Now you got to de-educate and re-educate.
Right, but that don't mean everything in the Bible is false.
No, we know that.
Right.
They mix truth in with it.
They mix some truth in there with it. Right.
There's truth
here.
We
at a process now that we have to decipher the truth.
Don't want y'all to get lost. I don't.
Oh, we ain't lost, baby. We got you.
No,
we got you.
Listen,
we got you. We just wanted to add a little spunk for you, but we love you.
I want you to get lost in the information.
No, we are deciphering information to give us the knowledge we need.
Egypt, when you start thinking that Egyptology is right.
Oh no! See, Egyptology with that white guy. No, throw that out the door because they got Egyptology. Then they need to have Chinatology and Americatology. Why just got Egyptology and no etology no place else? No, we learn about these crack again, man. I hope nobody get offended by that, but. You know, the crack that craps the whoop of lies on us.
That's right.
You know, so yeah, we're not in that Egyptology and that guy.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't trust. I don't trust nothing that Egypt talks about. I don't care what's on Egypt. I'm not an Egyptian. I've never was Egyptian.
Right, we're not Egyptian. We're not Egyptian either. The Egyptian really is so-called white people.
Baby, yeah.
But
no, I'm not Kemet. I'm not Kemet. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
All right. We're gonna continue searching out, and we'll continue to get knowledge, and we share it with each other, and we learn.
Right.
I'm not African. I'm not from Cam, which is ham. That's all it is. Cam is ham, Kemet, man of the hat. That's not me. I'm born of Shem. I am a Shemitic.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We got all that, but still, there wouldn't it be our brother because all three of them was brother and there was Noah's son, so we still brothers. Brothers in the flesh, cousins, but maybe not brothers spiritually.
No, we would be more like cousins. Brothers' children's are cousins.
Wait a minute now. Noah had 3 sons. Yeah, I follow you on that part. Right. Okay. So if you're going, but I would. Yeah. Okay.
We were brothers. Right. We're not brothers.
Right. But still, the 3 fathers were brothers, and we're the children, so we cousins. Yeah, I got you on that. But I look at it more in depth, and well,
we got a lot of cousins.
Uncle, right? Those would be our uncle.
In this young family, we got a lot of cousins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Being born in
a lot of them we know, and a lot we don't know. Right?
A lot we still finding out.
But that's how cousins can be. Because cousins is first cousins, like me and Leona.
Yeah.
Then you got second cousins, third cousins, fourth cousins. It continues. You put up your DNA, you'll see it. Fourth cousin, 1 removed. Fourth cousin, 3rd removed. So it gets crazy.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like I say, and it's true. I wouldn't have found out who my father was if it wasn't for DNA.
Yeah. Yeah. And it didn't change the love, though. It didn't change the love because no matter what, you still family. You know, you still family. You love. You know, me and you always. It's always been me and you. So, I guess everything we do together. But we thank the Creator, the Father, for the Most High for you stand, and you continue doing the great work. And I gotta pull on out of here, but you continue doing the work, great work, and we're gonna hopefully get back on this great conversation again with you. And you be strong, cuz, and I hope to see you Saturday.
So have you been to Kemet or Ethiopia, any of them places yet? Understand?
Looks like he didn't froze.
What happened? Oh, his thing froze?
Yeah.
Yeah, I must be back. I think I lost my cousin. Leona, if you want, you can click back on, scroll up, and I'll put the link back in. I'm back. Hit the link if you'd like to join in. That was an interesting discussion with my cousin. I don't care how much we argue. We family. And we still love one another deeply. I love her husband very much. And she will always be in my heart, being my mother's youngest brother's daughter. That's my cousin, Johanna Israel. Glad to have her stop in. Love the way she's growing. But anybody else out there like to come in and chat with Apostle ZAQAN, come on in and chat with me. Love to have you. Brother Imam of Islam, if you're out there, you hear me, click on the link. Come on in. Okay? Still waiting for you. Oh, sing, Father Abraham, won't you come and sup with me? What a beautiful song about our father Abraham. Yes, what a beautiful song. Isaiah 19, 18 through 20, Apostle, please. Okay, let me get there for you. Isaiah 19, Isaiah 19. Six. Man, how do I do that? Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19, 18 and 20. Somebody made a request. Isaiah 19, 18, and 20. In that day shall the 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan and swear. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Water Blue, what's up, brother? Right. Okay. Right. Right. That's right. That's right. That's real raw, man. That's family love, man. Right. 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 Exactly. Right. Yeah. Right. I appreciate you, brother. Okay. 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 I will. Yeah, I will do that. I will lock it in. I will pray. And listen, man, as soon as I get more familiar with this thing, I'm gonna need some wrenches and all that kind of stuff. I'm just getting started. So as soon as I figure out how to do that, I just figured out today how to allow people to come in and share streaming with me. So I'm growing. Right, right, exactly. Right, right, right. Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. All your support, man. Get tired of it, man. I mean, all that ignorant nonsense, man. You just get tired of it. Right, right, Right. 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 Exactly. Right. Okay. 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 Glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that. Right. Look, I right. Right. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Right. Right. Okay. No, 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 no. Let me share something with you before you leave. Let me share something with you before you leave. I have a cousin. I know she's not going to mind me saying this. Okay. Her name is Simone Greggs. She has a son that's autistic. His name is Jeremiah. I don't know if you've seen him. He's been on Steve Harvey's show 4 times. He's a young chef. He wrote a book as a kid, says, I'm Jeremiah. That's my little cousin. Okay. And his autism ain't stopping him. So encourage your son. My little cousin is studying in Europe how to be a chef, how to be a bakery. So look, I'm about to lose your call. My watch is running out. I love you, and I will get back with you. You hear me, Blue? My watch just went out that I was talking to you on. I love you though. Okay, brother, keep up the good work. Encourage your son. Share with him the best you can. Okay, not so that he can be a Jeremiah, so that he can be a better of himself, and he know that he don't have to let autism stop him. He can still be his best self, whatever he desire. Okay, and I'm a witness that Yahweh can make it so. So hold on, my brother. I'm here with you. I'm praying with you and your family. I love you all. Okay, come on, come on, y'all. Anybody that want to chat with Apostle, you can hit that list, man. You can hit that link and come on in. I'll bring you in. It's no problem. Private chat. Yes. Johanna Israel. Yes, I know. Thanks, cuz. So I'm here. Shalom. Water blue. Water blue. I got you. I got you. Be encouraged, brother. And tell your son to be encouraged. I am Jeremiah. My cousin wrote that book when he was a kid. I am Jeremiah. He didn't allow his autism to stop him. As a matter of fact, his sister is the singer Maya Lamont. Maya Lamont. She ain't letting it stop her either. My cousin has raised 2 beautiful children, obedient to the max. Maya is living her best life in Atlanta, recording her music, and her brother's Jeremiah is learning how to be a top bakery chef. He told autism to take a back seat. I'm moving forward. Yeah. And see, these are the things I know that the Most High can do in the life of people if we allow him. I got a beautiful family. I love all my family. And I'm known probably by most of my family. Most of my family know me more so than I know them because for 37 years, I served as the president of our family reunion. for 37 years, ever since I turned 23 years old as a young minister. I was nominated by my Uncle Gene, my mother's oldest brother, to lead out the family in his stead as he led the family. When his father died, my grandfather, Uncle Bud, the great Daniel Dan, Granddaddy Dan. Yes, sir. Everybody know about Granddaddy Dan, my grandfather on my mother's side. Yeah, the Lord took him home at 86. He was born in 1866, 1 year after the Civil War. My grandfather, Granddaddy Dan. I never knew him. I was 6 months old when he left this life. But I was the last human contact that he had. He held me in his arms. And my mother had to turn around and go back down to South Carolina because that Christmas Eve, after they left to go back to D.C., they wasn't going to spend Christmas together this year. And they left and had to turn around and come back because of Christmas Eve, my grandfather passed. And he held me in his arms 2 days earlier. So that's that story. And whatever he did, he imparted into me. That's what you see today from him holding me. Now that's another story. But them out there that know my grandfather. Hey family, if you know my grandfather, you know before he went wrong, he had a hand in God. You know that. He healed many of people just by the spoken word. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all about that one day. Well, hallelujah. Your ancestors, that's right. These are the ancestors I'm talking about. When folk talk about ancestors, I don't know what they're talking about. I know who I'm talking about. I can go back 7 generations to Charles Anson Campbell that was born in 1767 in Florida. Yeah, it's St. Augustine on my beach, Florida. Yep, right across the Johns River. The plantation is the state park, on my park. Yeah, Mount Oswald. Yeah.
It is 8:42 p.m.
Well, I do with my cell phone. I know I had it.
Connected to 31 Grove Way.
If you just call me back.
Screen turned off.
If you just call me, you can call me back. I missed the call. Put that down. Let me turn that off. This thing keep messing me up.
Watch options.
They don't want to cut off.
Power off button.
There we go.
Power resize pop-up window.
Okay, I cut the watch off so the phone is working better. If you want to call me back. If you was trying to call. Yeah. So when I talk about my ancestors, I know what I'm talking about. I've done the work. All 7 generations. Okay? I can go back, like I say, to Charles Anson Campbell, who was born 2 days off the slave ship to Charlotte Cape. Came from came from Bunce Island off of the Sierra Leone River. Bunce Island is right off the Sierra Leone River. And it's an island where they house slaves. And Charles' mother, she was inspecting. She was pregnant. They took her and brought her to America. 2 days off the slave ship. Charles Anson Campbell was born in 1767, September the 16th. Charles Anson Campbell died in 1906, 3 months shy of 1907. He was 139 years old. That's been proven as a fact. We had to go through something with genealogy because they changed his birth date. They made his wife older than him. See, because his wife was 95 years old when he was 132. See, and they just didn't embrace. So they tried to act like his wife was born 60 something years before he was born. And we wasn't gonna have that. Not in my family. Not with the Campbells. See, because his daughter, Adeline, married Daniel Young the first. Okay? Daniel Young the first. And Grandma Adeline had 16 kids. And I know every single one of them. Okay? So I had to teach genealogy a few things about ancestors. Okay? Because they wasn't going to cheat my ancestors. Because at 132 years of age, he was honored in South Carolina as being the oldest American living. And he was given a pure silver walking cane and a gold badge that was made in Washington, D.C. by the National Congress. Their building up there in Washington, D.C. Okay? And years ago, before there were computers, I went to the National Congress and got the information that I needed at the archives about his life that was on fish, the web, because you couldn't take it out of there. It's I forgot that word that they use when you can't check a book out. You can look at a book, but you can't take it out of the building. But this was microfiche. In 1850 shows before the Civil War, Charles Anson Campbell was a free man. Yeah, they couldn't dare. Okay, he escaped slavery by hooking up with the Seminole Indians of Florida. And when they was closing down the plantation, Alma Beach plantation, Mount Oswald, when they was closing it down because they only had a land grant for the British only had a land grant for the Spanish 20 years to operate their plantation. So when that 20 years was up, they had to close their plantation down and move it north into South Carolina. And upon going across the Savannah River into South Carolina, they were attacked by Seminole Indians. My grandfather was 16 years old, Charles Anson Campbell. And from that time in his life till an adult, he spent it with the Seminole Indians. Okay? That's how he eluded captivity, because they didn't dare messing with the Seminole Indians. Okay? He later on went into South Carolina, where he met his wife, Mary. She was a slave. Okay? Mary. She was a slave. And all his children were slaves, all 6 of them. My grandmother, my mother's great-grandmother, I call her grandma, but she was my great-great-great-grandmother, Adeline. She married Daniel Young. They had 16 children. Okay? My grandfather, Daniel II, or Jr., was born in 1866. That's my mother's father, Daniel Young. He married a young girl. He was about 56 years old, had grown children in their 20s. My aunt, Anna Young Brown, okay, who he had early on in his life, but at the age of about 56, he married a young girl of 12 years old, named Georgia Cobb. She was the daughter of George Cobb and Levia Toney. Levia Toney was full-blooded Cherokee. All the Toneys are Cherokee. They had to register in 1884 as one of the 5 tribes of Native America. and she was registered as a Cherokee, full-blooded. Olivia Tony Cobb. Olivia Tony Cobb married George Cobb. They had a daughter and a son. George Cobb named his daughter Georgia. He named his son Taft. Taft has 3 children living out in California. Tyrone Cobb, that's my cousin, living out in California. I just met him about 2-3 years ago through DNA. I found my uncle Taft, my grandmother's brother, about 3 or 4 years ago. What happened to him? And I knew as a young man he had to go north, and I know why, but that's all right. Okay? But my mother's mother, she married Daniel Young Jr. They had a son named Daniel, who was Daniel Young III. That was my uncle. Died years ago. He drank himself to death. But he had 2 daughters and a son. Daniel Young the first, right back at Danny, who became Danny Hayes because he was raised by my Aunt Leslie. Our whole history of my family is wrapped up in this head. I studied it for 37 years. You understand? I don't forget nothing, but sometimes I have to be reminded of some things to bring things back to memory. But this head has a lot in it, okay? I'm talking about ancestors, those that lived before me. Why I am who I am is because those that lived before me. See? Yeah. Talking about history, y'all. I had family that were slaves. I had family that during slavery were not slaves. Yes, and I even have white family. I have an uncle who was a mulatto who went for white and became a captain in the Union Army, fought during the Civil War. Yes, he's one of my 4th generation grandfathers on my father's side. He's considered as mulatto, but they didn't know it. And he went up to the ranks of captain. Yeah, you want to know his name? Thomas Rowe Curtis. Yes. Thomas Rowe Curtis. And he married a slave. Yes, he did. After the Union Army. And he had a daughter named Hannah Curtis. Hannah Curtis is my 3rd generation grandmother. Yeah. But see, that's back. Then, in the bloodline, this is on my father's side. 2 years ago, I didn't know. But look what a year can make. In 1 year, not only did I find out that the man that raised me as his own son knew I wasn't his son, but raised me no different than any of his other 4 sons. Raised me was not my father. I found out at 65. And within 3 months after turning 66, I found my real father. See, that's what God will do for you. He will not leave you in the dark if you desire to know a thing. He will reveal it to you. And through DNA, I found my real father, one of the first Black entrepreneurs in San Antonio, Texas. The first Black entrepreneur in San Antonio, Texas. His grandfather owned a major, in the Black Negro League, a ball club in Texas. His father owned it outright. And it was stolen from him by the white man when the Negro League ended. Everything. But that's all right. Payback is coming after a while. Everything the devil stole, he got to return it. Don't you know what I'm saying? Everything that devil stole, he has to return it. It does not belong to him. It belongs to me. Everything that devil stole from me, he got to return it because it belongs to me and nobody else. It belongs to me and my siblings. Whatever the devil stole from me belongs to me, and he has to return. Okay? Come on, YouTube, talk back at me. Talk back at me, YouTube. Come on. It's a good thing when you know where you come from, when you know those that lived before you. See, I'm not talking about pride, y'all. I'm talking about what I know. It's a good thing when you know where you come from, where your family was taken from. It's a good thing when you know who you are. See, Jerusalem, Yahushalem, is mine. It belongs to me. And one day, it will be mine. And you, devil, you can serve at my feet for what you've done. That's your reward. You get to serve at my feet for what you've done. And as a good master, I'm going to treat you well. See, I'm going to treat you the way you should have treated us. See? Because when the righteous is in charge, the people prosper. Y'all hear that? When the righteous is in charge, the people prosper. Okay? Well, it's getting late. I've been on this air for almost 2 hours. And for some reason, I didn't hear from Imam. And it's all right. Maybe he'll show up later, or he'll give me a call and we can reschedule this bill that he want to bill with. But I've been here 2 hours, and I'm not going to labor any longer. Hour and a half is really long enough. 90 minutes, I've been taught that after 90 minutes, people lose interest in what you're discussing. So what you're discussing, 45 minutes to 90 minutes. Anywhere in between that range is 45 minutes to 90 minutes. Really, a message, you can get your point across in 20. And if you can't get your point across in 20, you got no business talking at all. 20 minutes, 45 minutes to 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, people going to sleep. They're no longer interested. You lose your people. And it's been 1 minute, 54 seconds and 1 hour, 54 minutes and 22 seconds. Okay, and counting. So listen, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. I appreciate my cousin for checking in. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Okay? Subscribe and share. Remember that I live stream on YouTube, StreamYard, and Facebook. If you're looking for Apostle, ZAQAN, Thalmad, that's where you'll find me. ZAQAN is elder, Thalmad is a pupil, because I don't care how I get, I'm always a pupil. And I am your elder, being that I'm 66 years old. And I am hands laid upon, licensed and ordained an apostle of the living Yahweh. Yes, I am. And don't care who don't like it. Don't care who disagree with it. If you disagree with it, probably there's something about yourself that you're in disagreement with, and you're taking it out on me. Okay? Instead of lifting me up, you want to tear me down. There's something inside of you that's not right. Okay? There's something inside of you because really, you shouldn't give a damn. It shouldn't matter to you who I say I am. It shouldn't matter. But if it does, check out yourself. Do a self-diagnose and examine yourself because there's something coming up short. Guarantee it. All right. I love you. Until the next time, go love, happiness, and peace. I love each and every one of y'all. Bless Yahweh always. Yahweh. Kal Halal Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushai. I'll see you. Until the next time.